For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Jeremiah 30, verse 3. Jeremiah 33 reminds us of the faithfulness and sovereignty of God. Even in the darkest seasons of exile, displacement, or spiritual wandering, God's voice breaks through with a promise of return. God's promise to bring Israel and Judah back to their land is not just a historical event. It is a profound testament to his unchanging commitment to restore what has been lost. Exile, in biblical terms, represents more than physical displacement. It symbolizes separation from God, periods of trial, and the consequences of turning away from his guidance. Yet this verse reassures us that God's plans are restorative, not punitive. The language of return and restoration reflects God's heart for reconciliation and renewal, not only for a nation, but for each believer's life. Spiritually, this verse challenges us to trust God when we feel exiled from peace, purpose, or blessing. Just as he promised to restore Israel, he promises to restore our hearts, our circumstances, and our spiritual lives. Restoration often comes in his timing, not ours, but it is always complete and perfect. There are 4 key truths to reflect on from this passage. First, God's word is certain. What he declares, he accomplishes. Second, exile is never permanent. Seasons of trial are temporary under God's sovereign plan. Third, restoration is comprehensive. God restores physically, spiritually, and relationally. Fourth, hope is anchored in God. No matter the depth of despair, his promises never fail. As believers, we are called to live in the hope of God's restoration. In times of disappointment, spiritual drought, etc., we can echo the assurance of this verse. The days are coming when God will bring restoration. Now consider how Jeremiah 30 verse 3 connects directly to Bible prophecy and to what we are witnessing in the world today. Prophetically, this verse is part of what scholars call the time of Jacob's trouble, a passage that points to the end times restoration of Israel. Jeremiah foresaw a day when God would gather his scattered people and return them to their promised land. That process began in 1948, when the modern state of Israel was established, one of the most remarkable fulfillments of biblical prophecy in history. Today's current events echo this prophecy. The ongoing conflict in the Middle East, the international focus on Jerusalem, the alignment of nations around Israel, these are not random geopolitical events. To the eyes of faith, they are the unfolding of a prophetic timeline written thousands of years ago. The Bible tells us in Ezekiel 37 about the valley of dry bones, a vision of Israel returning to life as a nation. We are living in the generation that is watching that vision come to pass. Romans 11 reminds us that God has not forgotten his covenant people. His gifts and his call are irrevocable. The restoration of Israel is not just a political story. It is a theological declaration that God keeps every promise he makes. As you watch the news and see the turmoil in the nations, do not be moved by fear. Be anchored by prophecy. These are signs that the God of Jeremiah is still on the throne, and that his plan for restoration, for Israel and for all who believe, is moving forward right on schedule. Let this promise ignite faith, courage, and patient expectation in your heart today.